Welcome back to Witchcraft Works Anime Review Part 3. This will be the only OVA release of the series. Yes, this OVA was released like 10 months after the release of the final episode of the series. Now, I do have a slight change here from the end of I finished last video. I mentioned that the ending sequence for episode 12 was mostly original. That is mostly true. Yeah, except for the moment when you have the Ivory Witches confronting Kurogi and, nearly crushing their frickin' skulls. Yeah, that is actually from, believe it or not, the start of chapter 29. Yeah, I'm not kidding about that. Yeah, I'm not really sure of why, but yeah, that's pretty much what they did. Kagari. Yeah. Yeah, that sequence is from the start of chapter 29, which, yes, this OVA does pick up exactly where the final episode left off, and here's something really strange with it. Okay, now, this OVA apparently adapts chapter 29, 31, and 32. Okay, and I looked up after watching the episode, that it doesn't, now, 29, it does adapt the entirety of that chapter perfectly fine, but not the entirety of chapter 31 and 32. Nope. For 31, they just have pages 7 through 11 and 18 and 20. 32, it's 2 through 19. Now, 31 is roughly 20 pages long. 32 is 27. So, both these two, most the chapter. It's mostly this one's focused on the main character's sister. Yep. After the whole thing with Carapace being defeated by Kurogi again. By the way, after that sequence, the Fire Witch pops up once. Yes, once after this. In a brief sequence, the rest of the time you're seeing this OVA, it's mostly in flashback. The main character! In case you're a little curious though, outside of the opening minute of this OVA, he does not make a physical appearance outside of that opening scene at all. Pretty much all the time you see him after that is just in flashbacks. I am not kidding about that. Yeah, because this whole thing is focused on his sister, and it's about her conspiracy. I'm seriously. Now, yes, this particular OVA is essentially canon, and mostly put first scenes from chapters 29, and, well, of course, and 31 32. Now, 30 and 32, the pages they have from those chapters, it's mostly her scenes. Yes, just her scenes only. Not focused on her brother. Yeah, because it's not focused on him. So, she and Kurogi make an alliance. Take them to Fire Witch. So they go after basically drinking at the bar. By the way, it's revealed that she's drinking cola. This will actually look like she's drunk. And what's Kurogi drinking? Hot milk. I am not kidding about that. So apparently this bar that this one where it's run by a friend of the main character of the female lead of the series. Yeah. Let's see if I can find her name here. She runs a bar. I'm trying to remember her name. I had to look it up on here. Her name is actually, they don't list out her name here as basically. Oh yeah, and also the science teacher. Yeah, there's the thing. He's also the one controlling memories. Yeah, it turns out I forgot to mention this. He's actually the uncle of one of the witches. I mean, he thought, oh yeah, same last name, must be his daughter. Nope, it's his niece. Okay, that's still perfectly fine. At least you have a second generation witch there. Yep. But as for this, okay, they go to her room, which Torito's like, why'd you bring me here for? And she wants from Alliance her take down the Fire Witch. Why? Because she took away her big brother from her. Yeah. She is obsessed with her brother. That is one of the strangest things about this character and how she's written in this thing. Okay. I mean, it's very heavily implied that she wants incestuous sex with her brother. I'm like, what? Why the heck would... And apparently, she has no problem with her brother seeing her completely naked. Yeah. But she goes, oh yeah, because I'm his sister. Really? I highly doubt that would work. Yeah. So, talked to her for a while, and like, okay, after basically having the flashback sequence of like all the time she's supposed to spend with her brother, like bathing with him, sleeping in the same bed, eating lunches with him. Okay, she's way obsessed with her brother. Heck, her mother basically points out though, yeah, tells her, stop drooling over your brother. Which, yeah, that's indeed true. So yeah, they form an alliance. Okay, can't form the other 5 witches. The other 4, yeah, they're apparently out of town due to training with Medusa. So contact the 3 other tower witches in town. Have them basically break into Kasumi's room, Togura's room, and 2 of them easily defeated, and they all break away, and that's it. They all basically make a plan in her bedroom. I'm like, okay, so come closer. And yeah, anybody watching this can easily see that, is she gonna do something to them? Nope, they're just sitting on the floor making a plan to take out the witch. Yep, after just one time trying to take her down, they just give up. Yeah. Of course, Toba basically spends for part of this thing just sleep on the roof. And then all of a sudden, they cut to something involving her best friend and her getting this particular series that she likes where kind of basically explains her character. And also a giant penguin pops up in town. Where the heck this thing came from is never explained. Even well, they say where it actually kind of came from at the end of it. So it just rampaged into Newtown, and then the bear killer shows up right after she's finished talking with her friend. And you're like, yeah, time to work. And then she just grabs her and then grabs the Tower Witch on top. Why she grabbed her? Even in the manga, this was never explained. Like, oh, she just randomly grabbed her. And they go to the rooftop. Oh, yeah, and she's in her outfit somehow. Even the manga didn't explain this. Oh, yeah, and how they cut this particular scene in the manga is having Kasumi look at Togami look at this and see the giant penguin and him doing nothing about it. So, then we have a wrestling match. Well, first we have, Kirby basically bring out her giant bear to take on the penguin. Beats him up for a while. And then the doppelganger shows up. Yeah, this character I forgot to mention because this character popped up for 1 episode. Yeah, fighting Kuragi and just losing. Yeah, she gets defeated. Yeah, it's a girl. Who this woman is never explained. It just says she worked for Kasumi. Yes, her name's Kasumi. Yeah. All as I know about this woman is she worked for the Tower Witch weekend and nothing. Yeah, what she was still doing in town, never explained. It's like, oh, she just randomly comes across this whole entire battle via just walking up here. And also, Tabito basically decides to bring out her giant rabbit. And then this turns into a wrestling match, a tag team wrestling match. Where, yeah, and of course we have the dysfunctional, we have the proper tag team of the giant penguin and the doppelganger black bear versus Kasumi and Tabito, which they have sort of a dysfunctional tag team, and then we just basically had them put them in like wrestling, and then eventually it's like, okay, go bigger. It's like, last time I did that, the chairwoman scolded me. It's like, don't worry, I'm giving you permission. So she goes big, really, really big, to the point where she goes outside the Earth's atmosphere, and somehow she gets herself a spacesuit. Yeah, this is never explained. And then she uses her bear to punch the freaking ground, which has these 3 animals there. And, well, of course, some damage done. Of course, turning the penguin come from a statue made by the main character. and then she may disappear by having her bear swallow it, and that's it. Yeah, in case you're wondering, that scene was the last time she was seen in chapter 32. Because this whole sequence, this whole fight thing, is from chapter 32. And, yeah, after this scene, she's nowhere to be seen after this because it's all Kasumi, basically, for, like, the rest of the chapter. Yeah, why they made these OVA this way, I have no idea. But my guess is they're probably like, okay, let's have this episode focus clearly on the main character's beautiful younger sister. Yep. Let's focus on this for some reason. And this is the second series I've watched where it's set to manga, and here's kind of the strange thing about this. And you're probably thinking, wait, how is this strange? Okay. Why is it that there's like, in the case of My Wife is Student Council President, here's the strange thing about that series. Guess how many male characters are in that series? 2. The male lead for the series and his wife's father. That's it. Though her father is actually mentioned on the phone, but doesn't make a physical appearance. In this series, it's kind of the same thing. You just have the male lead and a male teacher. That's it, because most of the series is populated by female characters. Yep. The OVA I thought was pretty good. I thought, though I did think the whole thing of her focusing on Kasumi actually was kind of strange. I would have thought, though, because it's from 3 chapters, they might also include her brother in this, but nope, he is nowhere to be seen. It's like, now, it's like the first 29 is like adapted for the first, like, I'd say about the first 5 minutes, I'd say. And then we have, like, the next 5 minutes being just what they adapted from chapter 31. And then the last, like, 12 minutes adapted from chapter 32. That's just my personal guess anyways. But yeah, not much else to say about this OVA. It's okay, per se. Aside from that, they did cut some stuff from the chapters, but at least the stuff where they kept in, at least it was fine. Yeah, everything related to Kasumi, it's all kept in. Like, pretty much most of our dialogue is kept in, which that's quite interesting. And, yeah, nothing majorly cut with this one. Unlike with, let's say, My Bride is a Mermaid, where they actually made the OVAs out of order, this one they adapted pretty much in order, which that's quite something. Yeah, this was released in January 2015. Yeah, the series was released from January to March of 2014. So this OVA is the last special thing released, and that was 5 years ago. Why in the world they haven't done anything since this OVA? No idea. And this is made by JC Staff. Maybe maybe the OVA probably didn't draw what they wanted to draw with it. Or 2, there probably isn't any interest in the series anymore. I think the series is good. I thought the main series was fantastic. Though I kind of wish we had an English dub for it. But yeah, not much to say about this series. It's good. The OVA, you can watch if you want to. Though the OVA does continue the series. And here's the thing. The OVA is canon. Unlike some other OVAs and some other series, those essentially put are not canon. This one is canon because it is adapted from the source material, which is adapted from the main series. Yep. So out of, basically, if you count the OVA, there's roughly 13 episodes, and it adapts, like, pretty much 31 of the first 32 chapters of the series. The only chapter they don't really adapt is 28. They skip over that chapter for some reason. But mostly, actually no, they do skip over one other chapter. Excuse me, they skip over chapter 30. Yeah, 30 is not adapted either. But it's like, okay, adapt fully 29, adapt bits and pieces of chapter 31, 32, but nothing else. Maybe if the series come back, they'll probably do 28, 30, and maybe they probably would throw in what they skipped over for this OVA in the first couple episodes and go from that point forward. I mean, if you look at it, because 29 was technically the last full episode they fully adapted, I would probably say as of right now, there is roughly about 53 chapters left to adapt. Yeah, I'd say about 53. Actually, about 54. Actually, 54 chapters. But as many chapters been released, you can get a full season out of this if you wanted to. Just if you want to stick to two chapters per episode, go right ahead. But that's up to JC staff. Because it seems as though JC, if you look at the series they adapt, most of them seem to be like light novels. I mean, there's some manga. Mostly they adapt a lot of light novel series. Like, is it wrong to have girls in a dungeon? Or the movie version of Konosuba? Yeah. But yeah, that's it for this particular review. And that's it for this video review series. Because next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to read the light novels first. I don't know how long it'll take me, but next anime review series I'll do is the Saga of Tiny the Evil. I'm looking forward to this one, okay? Do this next video. Bye.